All right, so 2 years ago was a big day. It was a huge day for me in my life. I guess a lot of friends, a lot of family as well. And I, like, and it just hit me today. I was like, yo, I really want to do something. I have to do something. What should I do? I have no idea. I was like, oh, party. I was like, oh, I'm not really a party guy. Dinner. I was like, oh, like almost something nice. Like, something good for this 2 years. Like 2 years, it was crazy, crazy 2 years. And I was like, you know what? Like, a lot of people have been telling me that, like, I should really get my story out there, tell people the story, and like I can really inspire some people. And I was just like, at the end of the day, I have no problem saying my story. My story is my story. I have no problem. That's life. That's the hand I was dealt in life. It's just like I'm not an outgoing guy. I'm not gonna stand up in front of a whole speech and do all this. That's not me. But at the same time, like, everyone's like, yeah, you really have to. So I was like, you know what? What's a good thing? It was like 2 years ago. It was a big moment. I was like, I'll do a video. I'll do a 2 year commemoration video type thing and just explain, quick overview of the past 2 years and the lesson behind it. And so that's gonna be what this is. So 2 years ago, actually to the day, April 14th, 2019, I was in a really bad motorcycle accident where somebody made a U-turn carelessly, boom, collide, slammed in. Rest is literally history. I don't even know. I don't. 3 weeks of my life, I don't have a single memory of. Light turned green. I went. Next thing I know, I wake up in my house. My entire body is killing me. Every breath I take feels like I'm like Floyd Mayweather's punching bag. Like, I felt, oh my God, it was crazy. Like, every breath I took, my ribs were severely bruised. I tore every single major ligament in my right knee. Orbital fractures to my face, severe brain swelling in my head, and I have 2 titanium rods in my hand. Crazy. If you guys saw the pictures, you know how crazy it was. But if you didn't, you should never have to see it. But insane. It's just crazy to think about. And the craziest part is I don't have a single memory of it. I have no memory of it whatsoever. And like, that was the hardest thing to deal with. Not the accident. The hardest part was like, none of it made sense. In my head, nothing made sense because I don't have a memory of it. Like I literally said, the light turned green. I went. Next thing I know, I wake up 3 weeks later and I'm in pain. I lost my bike. My bike was totaled. My job, I can't work. Savings account, I'm living off my savings. So at the end of the day, I don't, literally everything ripped away from me. And it's so easy. It was so easy for me. I don't think anybody would blame me if I turned my back on the religion, on God, and everything. I could have just been easily, the hell with that. But I felt like, what, like, it's not right to not play both sides, hear out both sides. So yeah, obviously I was taking the side of, the hell with this. I'm done. But you have to look at both sides. You have to play devil's advocate in this scenario. And in this case, it was the positive side. And the positive side was, hey, I didn't die. I didn't die. Despite every single person I met after my accident, it was as if I was a ghost. It was crazy. Looking at these people, I went to the tow yard. They thought I was dead. They're like, hey, is somebody going to sign your bike away? Sign the bike away for him. And my mom's like, no, he's the rider. He's going to sign. She's like, what? That's the rider? I was told it was a fatality. I went to the officer, the responding officer. Thought I died too. Everybody thought, it was like you're talking to people that thought you were dead. So it was just crazy hearing stories about visitors coming to me. Thought insane how nobody, like, they all said, like, they'd call their wives or this or that, or they'd call their friends and they ask, how's Matthew? They weren't able to answer. They genuinely were not able to answer. And to hear that, like, hear somebody say that about you, you're just like, whoa, it's crazy. And constantly trying to stay optimistic and positive throughout the whole 2 years. It was just hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was completely hard. There were times where I was straight up like, I'm done. I'm done acting like things are fine, because it's not fine. I did everything in my power, everything I can do. It's like, I didn't cause this accident. I didn't do any of that stuff. But yet I'm the one that's like, I lost my job, lost my money, can't work. I couldn't walk. Can't walk. Doctors are straight up telling me you're not going to walk unless you get this surgery. So in my head, I'm like, okay, let's do this surgery. And they're like, oh, it's this amount, it's a crazy amount of money. I was like, well, it doesn't seem like my problem, okay? Like, and they're like, nope, insurance, nope, doesn't cover it. Nope, there's only 4 surgeons that can do it. It was just catching road bumps every single time, to the point where I'm just like, what in the world, what does God want? You know, what do you want from me? Like, what am I not doing? Am I supposed to be doing something? What am I doing? What am I missing? And I just realized, you know, I'm not missing anything. I'm not missing anything. That's just the hand I'm dealt. And the goal is, do the best you can. You know, do the best you can. At the end of the day, I can only do so much. I can't I can't get these doctors to do a surgery that they're not going to do. I can't get the money. I can't do any of that. I can only do so much, literally laid up in my bed. Only so much I can do. And made the phone calls, made everything, this, that. At the end of the day, just drops the ball, whether it's lawyers, doctors, secretaries, insurance, all this stuff was out of my control, to the point of I'm just like, you know what? Whatever's meant to be is going to be. But I don't care which way. I was at a point where, like, you know what? If it means I'm never going to walk again, just tell me. Just tell me you're not going to walk again. And I'll cope with it. I'll adapt with it. It might take me some time, but I'll adapt to it. But the problem was, like, I was constantly left in limbo. Nothing. I was just going nowhere. I'm not getting the surgery, but I'm not getting the surgery. Just nothing. It was just like, I couldn't get an answer from anybody. And it was just insane process that just messed me up mentally. And it's, again, all that built up, it's like like a flip of the switch. All it takes is one moment to just be like, you know what, the hell with all this, the hell with the religion, the hell with all this stuff. But at the same time, it's just like, with every punch I got and every negative thing that kept popping up, there was still the concept of, at least you're alive. You know, like, at least you're alive. At least you have your brain, you can think. All you really need, let's be real, all you really need in this world is a brain. You really just need a good brain on a person. That's all you need. And I was just like, you know what, I can talk, I can have a conversation with somebody. I should be grateful, because anybody in my scenario should be dead, should literally be dead. So I was like, you know what, I felt wrong getting upset. I felt wrong getting frustrated. You know, I was just like, it's not like, you should be grateful. You should be grateful. You should be grateful. And that was always like my flip. Whenever I was feeling upset, feeling disappointed, feeling frustrated, I would just think back to the fact of, you know what, you're alive. What are you upset about? What are you upset about? At the end of the day, you did everything you can, and this happened. I wore all my gear that day. The first time I ever wear all my gear. I bought a helmet exactly to the day, 7 days before the accident. Deciding, because I was like, oh, should I get a GoPro or should I get a helmet? And the guy telling me, oh, and again, it's not like I didn't have a helmet. I had 2 helmets, but I bought my bike used and the helmets were used. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's going to try to get me to buy a helmet. I was like, no, I want a GoPro. I want to get stuff on video. It's going to be cool. This guy comes in. He's like, oh, you have a helmet? I was like, yeah, I have 2. He's like, oh, you want to go get them? I got them out of my trunk. I brought them in to the store, put it on. He's like, okay, put it on, latch it up. So I latch it up and everything. And he takes it and he like moves it. And the whole thing just shifts. And he's like, if you were in an accident right there, your helmet's not, it doesn't fit you. It's the wrong fitting. Your whole nose, you would have just lost your nose. And I was just like, whoa. That was like some traumatizing stuff. I'm like, oh my God. Whoa, my nose? That's kind of crazy. So I was just like, it bothered me. It really stuck with me. And I was just like, you know what? Okay, maybe I just won't get a GoPro. I won't get anything. I just won't get anything. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to think about it. And then a week from that day, I was like, you know what? Let me just go back and let me go right after work. It was a Sunday. I was like, let me go back. I just went in. I bought a helmet, fit it, everything. Boom. Got a brand new helmet. Impulse. I never impulsively buy anything. That was like my first impulse buy I ever did in my life. Because again, I was like, what's the point of getting a helmet? I'm not going to pay $350 for a helmet. If I get into an accident, I'm dead. Like, what the hell? Like, a helmet's not going to make a difference. What the heck? I was just like, oh, And I don't know why. I still to this day, I don't know why I went back and got a helmet, got the helmet. And exactly 7 days from that time, from the day I got the helmet, was the day I got into an accident. And the helmet played a really key role into why I'm here to this day, talking, being able to speak, being able to think. And it's just crazy, and it just teaches you so many lessons on Hashem's got everything under control. Everything happens for a reason. The one day I wear all my gear is the day I get into the accident. Like, you know how crazy that is? That's just crazy to me. It's just like, wow. Like, the accident was going to happen regardless, no matter what. But I was prepared the best way I could have been for the scenario, And there's a lot to be thankful for when you look at things to be thankful for. When you search for the things to be thankful for, you can find them. But at the same time, it's so much easier to just take the negative. Take it because it's right there. It's easy to just be like, hey, no, God took everything from me. It's so easy. But at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. It's about growth. It's about a process. It's the journey. It's not about the end result. And like that's like my biggest thing is like, don't ever let your happiness be based on an outcome of something, on a result. Like don't. Like, why should your happiness be based on a result? At the end of the day, just make sure you do the best you can. If it succeeds or it fails, that should not dictate your happiness, because you did the best you can. At the end of the day, you did what you can. And like, that's like a big thing that I told myself throughout this process, especially the end of the process. And thank God that's I Baruch Hashem, my happiness is not based on a result. Whether I make a bunch of money in a day or I lose a bunch of money in a day. Whether I get a ticket, God forbid, or something good happens. My happiness is not based on that. It's based on the fact of like, I did the best I can to this. I get to this point. The outcome is totally up to God. The result is up to God. And again, if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's not meant to be, what am I getting upset for? Like, it's out of my control. It's not like I could have done anything. It was Hashem. And if Hashem didn't want it to happen, it's obviously not meant to happen, because Hashem wants what's best for you. What do we know that Hashem doesn't? You know what I mean? Like, what do we know that God doesn't? And that's nothing. Like, if I get mad at something for not coming out a certain way, that's kind of like me putting myself above God and being like, hey, I know better and this should have happened. It's like, no, who are you? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, God does not owe you anything. He doesn't. He doesn't owe me anything. He doesn't owe you anything. At the end of the day, it's like we take Hashem and we put him on like a personal level where it's like, I do this, I pray to you, I do this, and you did this to me. It's not a give-take relationship. That's not how it is. It's not how it is. Where does it say? Anywhere does it say, you do this and I'll do this for you? It says it once. I'm pretty sure it says it once. Again, you guys can message me, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure from what I've learned still, obviously I don't know everything. Obviously, I'm still learning learn something new every day. But what I know in the moment right now is God says, like, test me on one thing, and that's like tzedakah or like meiser. It's like, he actually says, like, test me. Like, you will not go broke off the money that you give. You won't go broke because of the money that you gave for meiser or tzedakah. You won't. He says, test him to it. You can literally test him to it. That's what he says, though. He says, test him on that. He doesn't say, pray and this will happen. He doesn't do that. And it's so hard to get out of that mindset of where God owes me. It's like, I did this, I did that, I prayed, I did this, I did a perfect morning. I dedicated my first 2 hours of my morning, my first 2 hours to Hashem. I get in my car, I go, bam, an accident. It's like, what the heck? What? That just makes no, you know what I mean? It's just like, what? How's that happen? It's because, like, at the end of the day, you shouldn't think like that, because God doesn't owe you anything. If you get it out of your head that God owes you anything, you're not going to get mad at him. What are you going to get mad at him for? If anything, you're just going to be appreciative about everything you do have and not mad at what you don't, because he didn't owe you anything. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. I don't know. I think it's fascinating, that concept. But it's obviously not easy, and it's a process, and this accident has like forced me to go through that kind of a process where I'm grateful for. Like, I look at this, like, when I say my accident story, everybody at first is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear. I'm so sorry you went through this. I'm sorry. And I always tell them at the end, it's like, don't be sorry. Like, I look at my accident as like, as crazy, as delusional as that may sound, what a blessing. What a blessing it was, because I I would not have been able to get to the place I'm at mentally or spiritually or belief wise in Hashem if not for this accident. I feel like I'm at a place where I would never have gotten to, because of this accident and all the process, the extension of 2 years waiting for a surgery, not being able to walk, not doing all this stuff, all made me just appreciate what I do have even more. And the whole process is the reason I went through it all. You know, like it's not the end result. The end result, whether, yeah, okay, you can be like, yeah, you lost 2 years of your life. You had to wait 2. I didn't though. I didn't. You know, I didn't lose anything. It's like I took 2 years to focus on myself mentally and spiritually and get to a place where I can go with the rest of my life, live a happy, crazy, amazing life. Because of 2 years I was forced into, but I decided to make the best of it, you know? And again, it's like you always, no matter what, you always have the choice of to be happy or sad, get mad or not. You do. You ultimately do. Somebody can rob you for everything you have. You have the choice to be happy or sad. Isn't it an easy one? Nobody said it's easy. Nobody said it's easy. But you do ultimately have the choice. It's just am I going to be angry or am I not? And the way I looked at it was, which one's going to lead me to a better life? Being bitter with God, where every time the word or the name Hashem or God comes up, I'm just like, no, and I feel bitter to it. Or grateful to the fact that I'm alive and I live every single day excited for what's new, because obviously it's not my time. It's not my time, or I would not have made it. So obviously there's something out there I have to do in this world. And it's like crazy to think of. It's like you have a purpose. So every single day I'll wake up excited about what does this day have, because there's a reason you're here, you know, and it's just like a constant puzzle trying to figure it out. What am I here for? What am I here for? You know? And I feel like that's the purpose. That's it. It's just, don't let your happiness be based on a result. Put that away. And I know it's so hard because society, the world is so built on it, on a cause and effect type thing. On like, you work, you get paid. You kill somebody, you do go to jail. You do this, you do that. You think like, oh, I pray I should get this, but nobody says that. Nobody, get that out of your head when you're in thought with God. Don't factor the two. It's two separate things. Stop putting Hashem on a personal level. He's obviously above a personal level, where he's not limited to the things that we're limited to. He's not bound by the laws or factors that we're bound on. We're bound on this whole, especially society, on like, I do this, I should get that. I do this. Why are you tying down Hashem like that? You know, like what? Who says that? Where does it say that? Put the mindset of, I'm doing this because I'm supposed to do it. You know, and at the end of the day, that's it. And if God rewards me, God rewards me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. The fact is, I did what I was supposed to do. The result is not what I'm there for, you know? And it's hard, but I promise you, it'll lead you to a so much more peaceful life, where something negative can happen to you, and it's just like, all right, well, that happened. Because at the end of the day, you just focus on doing the best you can. Put yourself in the best possible scenarios, but the outcome's not up to you. You don't dictate the outcome. You don't. And at the end of the day, after 2 years, I got the surgery. I got the surgery on September 3rd. September 3rd, 2020, I got my knee surgery. Was told it'll be a minimum 9-month recovery, looking at running in about, with physical therapy every single day, 4 months possibly running. No, 4 months running, walking with assistance, maybe like 3 months and stuff. But I got the September 3rd, September, October, November, December, literally my birthday, December 27th. By December 27th, I was already walking. No brace, slight limp, because I got screwed out of physical therapy, didn't work out, a whole thing with physical therapy, just adding on to more obstacles even afterwards. But you know what, at the end of the day, walking, slight limp, okay, at least I can walk, you know. Temporary, of course, because I plan on going back to physical therapy, working it out, because again, Hashem just makes things work out. He opens doors that you never thought even existed. And it's just amazing how, at the end of the day, I thought I can't ever get a job that's gonna match the job I had before. I got a job, thank God. I love my job. It's great, it's amazing. Everything just starts everything just starts adding up, and you start really acknowledging like, wow, how did this happen? You know, like I just went to a Passover program, and it was the best Pesach program I'm hands down I've ever gone to in my life. And again, I'm not one of those people. I haven't gone to Pesach programs that many, to be fair. But it was a great program. It was an amazing program. I wasn't working. I actually went as a guest, paid to go. And it was just like, how in the world? I started working after 2 years of not having a dime come my way. Again, no, there's no lawsuit money. Literally, I haven't gotten a dime from lawsuit money. No lawsuit money, none of that. Just straight up went to work, saved up money, boom, had enough money to go for a Passover program. Is it the wise decision to spend the money, or is it that? I didn't know. I was battling with myself. At the end of the day, I said, you know what? Hashem gave me the money. He made it come through. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but here it is. He gave it to me. I think it's right to go. Ended up going. Ended up loving it. Ended up meeting so many people that I consider friends for life. And it's just crazy how Hashem works. To think December time, took my first steps in 2 years, to April, going to a Passover program. Full program, Chol Hamoed, the whole thing, boom. And it's just like amazing. It's like, wow, it's just crazy how Hashem works everything out. Everything comes together when and at the end of the day, all you gotta just focus on just do the best you can, and you'll see it's always gonna be enough. And people feel like it's not enough, and that's them not factoring in the fact of they're basing it on a result. They're like, it's not enough because I don't have this. It's not. Why? It doesn't matter what you have and what you don't have. It doesn't matter what you have and don't have. At the end of the day, you did the best you can. The result is not the determining factor. It's not. And I think like that's such an important thing to know. And literally, I'm looking back, like I'm thinking about it as I'm talking, is that 2 years ago, I had an accident. Felt like I lost everything. The year after that, I spent Passover home, alone, stuck in bed. The year after that, I go to a program, walking, this, that. Do you see how crazy life is? Past 2 years have been completely crazy. I'm 100% a different person than where I was 2 years ago and a year ago. And it's just crazy how much stuff can happen in 1 year. So like if things are not going well, you don't feel like things are going right your way or this and that, give it some time. You know, let Hashem do his part. Just make sure you're doing yours. Make sure you're doing yours and be ready for when Hashem does his, because he won't ever drop the ball when you toss it up to him. He won't ever. But now you might not always be ready to catch it though when he throws it, you know? So make sure that you're there, you're ready, because when he comes and he's there for you, and whatever's meant to come your way is coming your way, that you're there to receive it. You have that vessel to receive all these blessings. You know, so do the best you can, do all that you can, get as big of a vessel that you can to receive as big of these blessings that Hashem's going to give you, because the blessings are there. It's just a matter of, do you want to catch them? Do you not? You want to just get stuck on a tough spot in your life, or do you want to just be like, you know what, that was the past, that was this. At the end of the day, I have the choice. I can decide if that's going to be me or if it's not going to be me, and go from there. Every single day is a brand new day. It's a new day. If yesterday didn't go that well, you feel like it could have, make the next day better. If that one doesn't go, every day is a new day until it boom. And just get in the mindset of God doesn't owe you anything, and everything is good. Everything's good, and at the end of the day, it's all part of God's plan. It's all part of Hashem's plan. And again, what do you know that Hashem doesn't? And Hashem only wants what's best for you. He only does. And there's challenges, and we can use an example of like Adam and Eve, right? Adam is born. He was literally created in Olam Haba, Gan Eden, created in Gan Eden. And he literally goes to Hashem and says, "Test me. I want to test." We're thinking, what? Why would you want to test? You know, it's like you're the top, you're the best, you're in the best spot. What's the point of a test? He wants a test because there's no limit to God. There's no limit. There's Olam Haba it's not like Olam Haba, that's it, I made it, I'm done. There's no limit. Even Olam Haba is not the max. There's something beyond that. God's love is infinity. Hashem is infinity. So if we're trying to get to Hashem, it's infinity. It's a non-stop climb. And Adam even realized that. He found that out when he said, test me. He wanted to test, because the more tests you get, you overcome a test, you're at a different level. You overcome something, you look at something. The test I was given was my accident, for example. And I feel like, you know what? I overcame it. I'm not done, but I feel like I did well. I passed those tests, and it put me to spots that I never thought I'd reach. And same thing with Adam. Unfortunately, he did not pass his test. He ate from the tree, and you see how far down he fell. But the fact is, it was a test. You might think like, oh, you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine where I'm at. I don't want any more tests. Hashem won't test you when he realizes, when he can truly believe that you're gonna pass it. He doesn't test you to make you fail. He tests you to make you grow. When you are constantly passing a test, he's gonna stop testing you, because he's like, what's the point? There's no point in testing him with this. He's gonna pass. He's got it. When you acknowledge that these things in life are tests, there's no problems. There's no problems anymore. You just make sure to pass every single one, and eventually Hashem's gonna stop throwing you those tests, and you're just gonna be like, wow, and then start acknowledging all the blessings that are around you, because there's blessings around you 24/7, whether you choose to see them or not. And like that's definitely what these 2 years have brought to me. And it's just insane what 2 years can do. Like it's literally crazy. 2 years to the day. 2 years ago, I was literally in a hospital. Don't remember a single thing. To here I am, and it's just crazy, literally insane. But yeah, so I want to give you guys a blessing. Anybody that's hearing this, anybody that's, you can spread this around, to just be able to just not allow their happiness to be dictated on a result, and to just sometimes it's okay to throw things up to God. It's okay. Do the best you can, and toss the rest to Hashem. Nothing's too much for him. We have our limits. Only we know our limits. Take what you can. Take what you can do. Nothing's considered too small. Find something, work on it, this. Leave the rest up to Hashem. Just truly leave it up to Hashem, and you'll see how he won't drop the ball. He won't drop the ball. And it's always when you least expect it, because you're not expecting it. Don't expect anything. Don't expect a certain result in your head. Just expect the journey. The journey's going to be, it might be tough, but you know what? I'm going to wake up each day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to really put in the work. And at the end of the day, I know I can go to sleep knowing I did everything I can. That's the goal, So I really hope you guys can do that, work on that. And I hope you guys really just know, at the end of the day, you're in a rough patch or not, there's always time to come out. You will come out. You'll come out on top. Just stay on that path. Stay on the positive path. And it's just crazy how things will turn out for you. It's amazing. All right. So thank you guys.